Lesson time. Let me give you a crash course bigotry for people of color. Just in case somehow you were underneath a rock, or your head was up your ass, or your head was in some hole somewhere, or you were in the Appalachian Mountains, or stuck in the Everglades, or stuck in a swamp somewhere, or out in some wilderness in a jungle, that you received no education or had any kind of knowledge of humanity, what it means to be civilized, unless somehow you were born a barbarian, inept, incest inbred idiot that crawled around like animals and never understood what a civilized society or world is. And I say this with all conviction and with all passion to those who just don't have a fucking clue just how racist and bigoted a country that is founded, in fact, it wasn't even founded, a country that was invaded by pirates and thieves and barbaric, royal, pedophile, child molesting, pervert, uncivilized, barbaric idiots from Spain and England. Now, unless you somehow a heartless, soulless creature that has no part of humanity, you can redundantly sit in that position, somehow denying racism and bigotry in this country. Although it's plain before your eyes, if they're closed, you just walk around like a bunch of mindless zombies with your head up your ass when it comes to real critical issues that affects humanity in general. Now, I've come to the conclusion that no matter what you say, no matter how much you educate, no matter how much you enlighten, no matter how much you send people to college or send people to receive information, about just what occurs in this country, and somehow you just forget of other people in this world, of other people who want to participate, want to engage, want to just be a part of the real world, not some narcissistic, self-induced, hypocritical, blind bullshit that you hear on fake news, fake media, Trump base idiots. That you're not engaged with the real world. You engage yourself with historical lies from criminals, thieves, pirates, that bottom feeder criminal element that was dumped here on the America's shores, that indigenous species of incest inbred idiots who refuse to become a part of the real world, of real humanity. So somehow everything that is real, everything that is true, everything humanity is fake news. It's a lie. And this is the innate world that you live in. Why, when you genocide innocent people, it's not a crime to you? Why, when you steal a country, rape, pillage, massacre, slaughter, that's not a crime to you? Why, that you come from a diseased, uncivilized, barbaric, heathen, animalistic society, British, Spanish controlled oligarchs who are nothing but a bunch of heartless, aristocratic, plutocratic bastards. When I say bastards, I mean that in the very intent of the word. You are fatherless bastards because you have no idea, no inclination of humanity or what humanity consists of, because you're raised in a jungle of incest inbreeding, pedophiles, sodomy, child molesting, any sexual deviant act you're involved in. You have no social because you're engulfed, you're deep into narcissism, self-preservation, stealing, murder, to get the resources that you need to gain your wealth. But when you sit and try to talk civil to people, it's impossible. It's just impossible. You could seriously get more from a rock. Seriously, you could get more from a rock than you could for people like you. Because unless it's something in that innate brain of yours, that symbolic oxymoron, endless stupidity, you can't penetrate it. Because if for decades and centuries you hold on to the same bullshit, that stealing a country, genociding innocent people, massacring and slaughtering innocent men, women, and children, if somehow that's giving to you, state of mind to be in. Now I'm giving you a format before I get into the subject. But on the Don Lemon show, he had this white asshole trying to protect a bunch of racist, bigoted, cowardless, heartless, soulless animals. And I'm not going to call them police because they're animals. They're the disease and filth that has infested this country. That same filth from Spain and England, royal courts. Same mentality. and you try to condone uncivilized, inhumane actions. And as many times as you see it, and as many times as your unlawful courts, your courts that were created by thieves and pirates, who have no idea of what law is, who has no idea what morals are, who have no idea what ethics is, who have no idea what justice even looks like, let alone to try to institute a system of justice. Because all your lives you were animals. In a white, diseased European society. Just running aimlessly, doing anything that you desire to anyone, especially people of color. And you've done this for decades and centuries. And regardless how much attention, regardless how much exposure, regardless how much your media whores that you train like pet monkeys to perpetuate and spread the propaganda of your lot, you'll never understand what it is to be human, what it is to have a heart, what it is to have a soul, what it is to have a conscience. Because if you did, none of the things that occurred down through history would have happened. Because only animals have no conscience. They have no heart. They have no soul. That's why they can just relentlessly kill. They can just annihilate, devastate, and have no conscience because they're not human. They're animals. And this is what I call Spain and England and any culture that could genocide a race of people, that could genocide men, women, and children just to steal rich mineral resources. And the sad part is that you constantly, every day, 24/7, 365, impose the same thing on other countries around the world. And you spread that lie and you call it democracy and you call it freedom. And that's the sad part. I don't know about anybody else, but it sickens me that every time you even say anything on TV, that you even say anything about a White House or say anything about Capitol Hill or Congress or Supreme Court or any of those fake ass institutions you created only to victimize, only to exploit, and prosper off the blood of humanity. It wasn't enough that you came to your lies, your diseases, your hatred, your criminal, barbaric, heathenist mentality, your bureaucratic, aristocratic, oligarch, plutocratic, self-preservationist mentality that nobody else deserved to be in this world but you. Some neo-Nazi, mental ill, delusional idiot mentality that somehow you're superior. And in all intents and purposes, you're inferior. Because human beings who have a heart, who have a soul, never act like that. Or never treat another human being in such a way. And how we know that your courts are corrupt, they're criminals, they're terrorists, just like the ones who invaded this country, is how when you're caught red-handed committing crime, these terrorists are called police. Never in prison. But the same people that you massacre, slaughter, genocide, enforce, enslave, you'll put them in prison. And you call that justice. And you sit up there like this white ass Don Lemon show and try to justify. I don't care if it's a black man. I don't care if it's a Chinese, British, Indian. Give a fuck what kind of color he is. It's your institution. It's something you created. It's something that you developed. It's something that you have started from the inception of this criminal, barbaric, heathenist filth. From day one. And because you train some house nigger that's a cop, that changes nothing. Because you got Ben Carson, you got Omarosa, got a bunch of black Republicans who are house niggas and slaves. And there will always be slaves because they want to be underneath the thumb and foot of white, systemic, racist, bigoted assholes. Redneck incest ingrates all their life. That's all they're used to. That's all they ever will be used to. Nothing's going to change that. And I say that with all the passion and conviction of my heart and soul. Racism and bigotry is a sickness. Just like a ravaged dog. It's a sickness. It's a sickness that is taught. It's a sickness that brainwashed, mindless idiots, just like the same brainwashed, Bible-thumping, evangelical bullshit that's out there. And you hide yourselves behind Jesus, just like your Catholic Church of rapists, sexual deviants, child molesting pedophiles who hide behind Jesus and Mary. That culture is what they called Sodom and Gomorrah decades and centuries ago. That same culture. And somehow you think, because you call yourselves Americans, that justifies everything that you do. It's somehow you don't get that. You don't get that you're not Americans. That's a mental ill sickness right there. And that shows the intent. That shows the very essence of who you are. That you are barbarians, that you are heathens. Because only heathens and barbarians and terrorists and pirates think like that. That's something that you have stolen. And that you genocide them for. King can ever think like that. And I've researched this. I've read hundreds of articles on slavery, hundreds of articles on genocide, hundreds of articles on this country and how you acquired, but what you're doing in the Middle East, the same thing. And you can sit there and just feel content that it's okay. It's okay. It's like in knowing what this filth that's in the White House now and his family. Porn star, naked, posing slut for first lady. If you got this moron mafia go, oh, these women are like classy, elegant. And he's a man of morals. Yeah, okay. Just as bad as moral as the assholes who came here, genocide innocent people. That all his life, only thing he done was steal and take and defraud banks, defraud creditors, defraud anybody that comes in contact with him. And the first mental case you would find in this guy is that a grown-ass 70-year-old man tweets like an adolescent high school girl. That's the first red flag. That's like I said, in that mentality of you guys, and this is not white people. This is not a white race. This is a percentage of humanity. And this is not just a white race. This is a percentage of humanity. And it involves all races. Because you sick motherfuckers just don't care. You just don't. It's like the Wild Wild West. There's no rules or regulations that you call laws. And your judges are being paid like prostitutes. Your Supreme Court being paid like prostitutes. Your lawmakers, legislators, House of Representatives being paid like prostitutes. Your police being paid like prostitutes. Your FBI, CIA, NSA, all of you. Any institution that you call for justice, they're paid like prostitutes. You're on the take. You're on criminal syndicates around the world's payroll. You even write books about it. You may make movies about it, about your criminal, barbaric heathenness. I rest my case. I'll take that before any judge. You can't sit up there in some black robe talk about laws when you assholes like genocide a race of people and you steal land. There is no court. It's bullshit. There is no law. Can we get that? you people's heads. Can we penetrate that dome, that black hole of inept stupidity? No. That's why it's okay for you that 6 fucking cops can just beat on a man, and you find nothing wrong with that. They were justified because he was on a cell phone. It's like you can shoot a man in the back and justify that too, or you can shoot a man in a car. You can justify that too, or you can shoot a woman. You justify that too. Or you can sit there and beat on a white girl at the beach in Wildwood, New Jersey too. You're a bunch of fucking lowlife, cowardice, gutless assholes in blue uniforms. You're the same fucking barbaric, uncivilized filth that landed on the shores of the Americas. When are you going to get that? This is the same filth that England sent over here because they didn't want it in their country. And some queen bitch who's nothing but a pedophile, a moral piece of shit herself, and her entire fucking family. Criminals. Breed criminals. Perpetrate crimes. Historically, it doesn't change. Like the Roman Empire, like Genghis Khan, like Russia, like Germany. You could name hundreds of the same filthy shit from Europe. What y'all created over there. That shit hasn't changed for decades and centuries. When you get to the origin of something, when you start from the foundation, the racism and bigotry and hatred for people started in this filth, and it never will end. Because the basic infrastructures to combat it are cowards, just like the NAACP, just like the Civil Rights Commission, the Rainbow Coalition, Lou Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King's children. All this bullshit that's going on right now, you're silent. But back in the 50s, everybody and their mother was marching. But somehow in 2018, it's not politically correct to march. Because y'all so much, once again, with your head up your asses, just like white society. And your banquets and your little meetings of nonsense. Black America. Except when you go to Atlanta. And you're so engulfed in the bureaucracy, the plutocracy, the oligarchy, and kissing ass, and keeping your heads up your ass, and in that hole of inept ignorance, that black society, black influential organizations that can actually do something, you hide. Like the fucking coward you are. NAACP, Civil Rights Commission, Rainbow Coalition, all of you who actually have the power to do something. You put your tail between your legs and run like a sooner dog. That you are. And like the article in the Essence magazine that the young girl, college girl said that I put away my marching shoes because the black leadership in this country is non-existent. And she's absolutely right. You become complacent. You become cowards. You become the white man's slaves again. And that's the truth of the matter. Because if you had the same heart that you did during the Martin Luther King era, you would be out there marching. You would be out there protesting. You would be marching against Washington, especially this fucking Washington that has a Russian mafia goat, a white supremacist piece of shit, Addie's son, an illegal immigrant mom, a sexual pervert, pussy grabber. If any time you would march, it would be now. That's why I have nothing to do with an NAACP, Civil Rights Commission, Rainbow Coalition, y'all bunch of porch monkeys and house niggas and living in Washington, D.C. or wherever you live. And you wonder why the black community hasn't progressed. Why unemployment is still the same. Why the way young black men, women, and girls are being killed consecutively, relentlessly, and you ain't doing shit about it. Because these white pieces of shit you call cops, gutless mercenaries and assassins, they're not cops. It's like the filth cavalry back in the day that genocide, massacred and slaughtered Native America. The only true America. That's why you're racist. Because and that includes your fucking clergy. Nothing but a bunch of sooners with their tails between their legs, running from confrontation, running from accountability, running to face that you become Maz's niggas again. And you want to explain why a bunch of faggoty ass cops can sit up there and beat down a man for just standing against a wall. That's why. Because they know that there's no repercussion, especially coming from some criminal filth, Justice Department, DOJ, Supreme Court, lawmakers, because you're all a bunch of fucking terrorists. And they know there's no repercussion. Because it's just like the Wild Wild West. You ain't got to worry about lily white America because no crime happens over there. Cops don't beat down white kids. Because your daddy and mama are at the tennis court or the golf clubs. So you're the ones that go to your little police banquets, whatever the case may be, and give millions and millions. They ain't beating your ass down. And that's the fact of the matter. Tell the fucking truth. And you punk ass media whores are the same way. You get sick and tired saying the same again because you know something. I get sick and tired of it too because deep down you know it's not going to change. but somehow you want to have hope. Somehow you want to in humanity, in people. But the more you see how cowardly filth that you see every day, you lose faith. Because I was one of those people at one time to think that shit would change. Go to church every day and you believe in God and you treat everybody like you like to be treated yourself. And then you see what the world has come into now. You see what the country is. And you know it's the end. It's the end of humanity as we knew it, as we know. Because they don't care. People in general, they don't care. It's all about me and mine. It's like the black leadership. They could care less what goes on because they're afraid to march. They're afraid to protest. They're afraid to stand against Washington because they become slaves again. And that's the reason why you're not going to see marches. You're not going to see protests. You'll see white kids out there protesting about gun control, but you never see people out there protesting about the injustice that is happening to black men, women, and children. You'll never see that. Because just like I said before, you're a bunch of sooner dogs with your tail between your legs. So worried about your NFL contracts, NBA contracts, baseball contracts, about your rap music, about the rap wars, about your pimp, bitches and hoes, gangsters, players, perpetrating that Hebrew dumbass. Get a soul. Get a conscience again in what humanity stands for. And what the very ethics and moral fiber and honesty of what humanity represents. Then give me a call. I'm done.